Allah appointed Prophet Nuh AS as the messenger to his people for conveying the message of Allah. Quran tells us the story of Prophet Nuh AS and his people in several chapters. The rulers of that time, fearing they would lose their power and authority over the people, did not accept what Nuh AS was preaching. They continued obstructing Nuh's mission by spreading doubts about him, saying he is just a common man like us, not messenger, who wants to be superior over you. If Allah wanted to send a message, then He could have sent angels down to earth. Regardless of their derogatory remarks, Prophet Nuh AS continued his divine mission. He preached to his people in a very polite manner. He also warned them of the strong persecution from Allah if they continued to worship the false Allahs, idols, assuring them He has no greed of wealth or power, but only wants reward from Allah, the alone Almighty. Prophet Nuh prayed to Allah. All the warnings and counsels of Prophet Nuh AS seemed to fall on deaf ears, except very few of them who had followed his guidance. Prophet Nuh AS redoubled his efforts, but all went in vain. He hopelessly said,
He cried, My Lord, I have surely called my people day and night, but my calls only made them run farther away. And whenever I invite them to be forgiven by you, they press their fingers into their ears, cover themselves with their clothes, persist in denial, and act very arrogantly. Then I certainly called them openly. Then I surely preached to them publicly and privately.
No ark and flood drowning the unbelievers. Due to obstinate refusal to accept Nuh's message and continuously mocking his messenger, Allah decided to bring down His punishment in the form of a devastating flood upon disbelievers. As commanded by Allah, Prophet Nuh was then set upon the task of building the ark with the help of a small group of believers. The ark seemed to amuse the rulers and the disbelievers. They did not realize the seriousness of the warning, but only laughed and taunted whenever they passed by him. When the ark was constructed, Prophet Nuh took with him the family members, except his son, the believers, and a pair of every creature. Now Allah's warning of floods to the people came to pass. The heavy rainfall with strong winds, the deafening thunder, and the blinding lightning confused their minds and feared their hearts. They ran pell-mell, climbed the rooftops and the trees to search for safety, but nothing could save them now as the water arose higher and higher. Believers who had suffered from the hands of the disbelieving chiefs found themselves safe in Nuh's ark. They offered their prayers and prostration of thanksgiving to Almighty Allah for the mercy He had bestowed upon them. Among the unbelievers, there was Prophet Nuh's own son. He was desperately trying to save himself from the flood. Nuh's ark was sailing all aboard safely. When the prophet saw his son, he called out to him to embark with them and be not among the unbelievers. He denied, saying that he will find a safe point somewhere on a mountain. But the waves came between them, and the son was among the drowned ones. The disbelievers who had ignored Allah's commands were in a dreadful state. When all unbelievers were drowned in the flood, Allah commanded the earth to swallow the water. Afterwards, the ark rested safely on Mount Judy, along with Nuh AS and the believers. Moral lessons. No matter what, be obedient to Allah and His Messenger. Punishment will be sent if you disobey Allah's commands. Don't make fun of messengers. Ask for Allah forgiveness and mercy on sins. Always look for Allah's guidance.